The weight of the homemade pecan pie in my hands is the only thing grounding me. I stand at the threshold of my parents' polished suburban home, staring through the leaded glass panels of the front door. Inside, it's a kaleidoscope of festive movement. I count at least 24 relatives, maybe more, all mingling under the blinding glow of my mother's prized crystal chandelier. The noise is a dull roar through the heavy oak. For a sharp, painful second, I consider turning around. I could just drive back to my quiet one-bedroom apartment, spend Thanksgiving with a microwave dinner, and watch mindless reruns. But then my father spots me through the glass. There she is, his voice booms as he swings the door open, the sudden warmth and noise washing over me. Our number cruncher has arrived. I force a smile and step inside, the overwhelming aroma of sage, roasting turkey, and my mother's expensive perfume enveloping me. My simple dress, a modest knee-length in deep teal, suddenly feels like a threadbare dish rag. Everyone else glitters. "Oh, you brought dessert," Mom says. It isn't a question. She accepts the pie from me, giving my cheek a dry, perfunctory kiss. Her eyes dart past me, scanning the driveway. "Is that all you brought?" "Just me and the pie," I answer, my voice already sounding thinner than I'd like. "Made from scratch." "Of course you did," she murmurs, already turning away to hand the pie to a caterer. Dad pats my shoulder, a heavy, proprietary gesture. Sierra works with numbers, a very stable job, always punctual. The compliment lands like a backhanded slap, just as it's intended, always punctual, always reliable, always boring. I've heard variations of this my entire life. Mom's phone chimes, and her entire face brightens with a genuine radiance I never receive. "That's your sister." "She's running a little late," Miranda's text must have said. 30 minutes and counting, I murmur, but I'm already being shuffled toward the living room, a ghost in my own family gathering. Relatives cluster with glittering glasses and intricate appetizers. My Uncle Wallace raises his glass as I approach. The accountant arrives. "How's life balancing those books, Sierra?" "I'm an internal auditor, actually," I correct him, accepting a flute of champagne from a passing tray. "And business is—" I stop. A sudden profound hush falls over the room, as if a switch has been thrown. Conversations halt mid-sentence. Every single head turns toward the entryway. My sister has arrived. If you're watching this video, tell me where you're from or what time it is for you. Miranda glides in, 35 minutes late and looking like she just stepped off a runway. Her camel Montclair coat, which I recognize from last month's Vogue, is draped perfectly over her shoulders. The Puccini handbag dangling from her wrist cost more than my monthly rent. "Sorry I'm late, everyone," she announces, her voice breezy and not carrying an ounce of actual apology. "The traffic was absolutely brutal." Mom rushes forward, beaming with a blinding, desperate pride she never, ever shows when introducing me. "You look stunning, sweetheart." She strokes the sleeve of Miranda's coat. "Is this new?" Miranda just pines, giving a perfect little shrug. "Just picked it up last weekend. The color just called to me, you know." "You work so hard, darling," Mom gushes, cupping her face. "You absolutely deserve to treat yourself." I swallow hard and drain my entire champagne glass in one gulp. The irony burns worse than the bubbles. Miranda hasn't held a steady job in 3 years. She bounces between consulting gigs that somehow never last but always come with impressive-sounding titles and apparently massive paychecks. Sierra. "Come say hello to your sister," Mom calls, beckoning me over as if I'm a disobedient child. I walk over, my practical heels sinking into the plush oriental rug. "Hi, Miranda. You look great." "Oh, Sky, you too," she says, her eyes flicking over my simple dress with a look that is equal parts pity and dismissal. That color is solid. Very practical. "Dinner is served," my father booms, saving me from having to respond. The wave of relatives moves toward the dining room. I find myself seated between my younger cousin Loretta and Uncle Wallace's new girlfriend, whose name I've already forgotten. Across from me, Miranda holds court, the clear center of the table. She's already regaling everyone with stories of her latest business venture, something vague about social media influencing and luxury brands. It's all about monetizing your personal brand, she explains, swirling her wine. You have to cultivate an aesthetic of success. People are drawn to aspiration. See? So smart, Mom whispers to Aunt Penelope, loud enough for the whole table to hear. She just gets it. I focus on my plate, trying to will myself invisible. The meal drones on. I listen to my father and Uncle Wallace debate football, while my mother and Aunt Penelope dissect the interior design choices of a neighbor who wasn't invited. My cousin Loretta, who just finished grad school, turns to me during a lull, lowering her voice. Sierra, I've been meaning to ask you something. My student loans are just... The interest is killing me. I wondered if you might have some advice about restructuring or consolidation. I lean in, genuinely pleased to be useful. This is my world. This is what I'm good at. Actually, there's a federal program I just read about that could help, especially if your income is below a certain threshold right now. We could look at your loan servicers and... Not everyone wants to hear about math at dinner, dear. My mother's voice cuts across the table, sharp and selectively loud. She smiles sweetly at Loretta, a predator's smile. Why don't you ask Miranda? She's great with money. The entire table grows quiet. Even my father stops talking about the game. I stare at my plate, my fork suspended over a piece of untouched turkey. The humiliation is a physical heat crawling up my neck. Miranda's laugh tinkles like ice cubes in a crystal glass. It's a sound I've learned to hate. Oh, Mom, that's sweet, Miranda says, waving a dismissive hand. Sierra's the one who's always crunching the numbers. She loves her little spreadsheets. She turns her bright, false smile on me. And always short on cash, it seems. My cheeks burn. I set my fork down with a quiet click against the china. I manage my money just fine, Miranda. Do you? She arches one perfectly sculpted eyebrow. The entire table is watching. This is a performance. Yes, I do, I say, my voice dangerously level. Then why? She leans forward, her voice dripping with faux concern. Are you always asking for loans? You should really stop begging for money all the time. It's embarrassing for everyone. The words slam into me like a physical blow. The dining room temperature plummets 20 degrees. 24 pairs of eyes swing between us like spectators at a tennis match. I can't breathe. It's such a monstrous, complete inversion of our reality that my brain short-circuits. I have never, I say, my voice shaking despite my best efforts, asked you for money. Not once. Not ever. Oh, Sierra, please. Miranda rolls her eyes dramatically, appealing to the table. We don't need to do this here. I'm happy to help, I always am, but you have to learn to be more responsible. That is an absolute lie, I hiss, gripping the edge of the table. My ears are ringing with the audacity of it. The loans, the car payments, the insurance, my money, my life. I look to my mother. Her face is a mask of strained disappointment, aimed at... Sierra, not at the table, she warns. I turn to my father. He's staring intently at his plate, refusing to meet my eyes. He clears his throat. No one speaks. No one defends me, not my parents, who know exactly which direction the money flows. Not Uncle Wallace, who supposedly values integrity. No one. They all believe her, or worse, they don't care. They just want the discomfort to stop. Speaking of embarrassing, Dad cuts in, his voice booming with forced, desperate joviality. Did anyone catch that Seahawks game last Sunday? That fourth quarter fumble was something else, wasn't it, Wallace? And just like that, the conversation lurches forward. The moment is over. The social contract is repaired. My humiliation is left behind like roadkill no one wants to acknowledge. I sit frozen, transported back to being 10 years old. emptying my piggy bank to help buy Miranda a new dance costume for a recital she'd be heartbroken to miss. "Your sister needs it more than you do, Sky," Mom had said, patting my head. "She has the spotlight. You're the practical one. You understand?" The practical one? The responsible one? The one expected to sacrifice and then to be silent about it. I feel a strange, cold click in my chest. Something has broken. Or no, something has just been forged. "Excuse me," I say, my voice perfectly calm. I stand up. My mother looks up, annoyed at the interruption. "Where are you going, dear? Dessert is about to be served." "I just need a moment," I say. I turn and walk, not looking at anyone, toward the powder room off the main hall. I lock the heavy door behind me. The sudden, muffled silence is a relief. My hands are trembling, but not with sadness. It's not sadness. It's rage. It's the clearest, sharpest, most clarifying rage I have ever felt. My mind has never been clearer. I pull out my phone. I bypass the 14 unread work emails and open my banking app. Face ID. I tap on scheduled payments. There they are, 5 of them, glowing on my screen in neat, organized rows, exactly as an auditor would keep them. Recurring payment, Amex Miranda, $210. First of the month. Recurring payment, Visa Miranda, $185. First of the month. Recurring payment, Riviera Auto, $310. Third of the month. Recurring payment, Allstate Insurance, $120. Fifth of the month. Recurring payment, M. Cole Personal, $55. Fifth of the month. A total of $880. Every single month for 5 years. I do the math in my head, fast. $52,800. $52,800. The evidence of my sister's financial vampirism. The cost of being the practical one. Without hesitation, I tap the first payment. Amex Miranda. I tap Edit Payment. I tap Delete Recurring Payment. A confirmation screen pops up. "Are you sure you want to cancel this scheduled payment?" I press Confirm so hard my fingertip hurts. Recurring payment canceled. I select the next one. Visa Miranda, delete, confirm. Recurring payment canceled. Riviera Auto, delete, confirm. Recurring payment canceled. Allstate Insurance, delete, confirm. Recurring payment canceled. M. Cole Personal, delete, confirm. Recurring payment canceled. It's done, 5 clicks. 5 years of silent sacrifice, erased in less than 30 seconds. I splash cold water on my face, blotting it dry with one of Mom's useless embroidered guest towels. I look at myself in the ornate mirror. My eyes are bright. I am not crying. I feel nothing but a vast, cold, beautiful calm. I unlock the door and walk back to the dining room. The buzz of conversation is loud again, the crisis of my humiliation completely forgotten. My pumpkin pie, the one I brought, sits in the center of the table, slices already missing from its perfect crust. "There you are," Mom says, not looking up. "We started without you." "That's fine." I slide back into my seat. Loretta gives me a worried look, but I just smile at her. A real smile. A strange, light calmness washes over me. I'm almost buoyant. My phone vibrates in my pocket, a cascade of confirmation notices from my bank. The cancellations are all complete. The wires are cut. "More coffee, Sierra?" Dad offers, the pot already in his hand, his eyes focused on my cup, not my face. I extend my cup. "Yes, I think I'll have a second helping. Thank you." For the first time in 5 years, I will not be paying for my sister's life tonight. For the first time in forever, I am choosing myself. It feels like the first breath after nearly drowning. Numbers don't lie. People do. The next morning, the weak Friday light filters through the blinds of my modest apartment. I open my laptop at the small desk wedged between my kitchenette and the living room. The coffee maker gurgles, its familiar rhythm the only sound in the room. It's a steadying presence as I open a new, blank Excel workbook. Payment History M. Cole. I type in the header. My fingers move with the automatic, precise speed that makes me so valuable at work. Each keystroke feels like reclaiming a piece of myself. I open my online banking portal. I set the transaction history filter to past 5 years. Methodically, I pull every single payment made to or on behalf of my sister. I copy and paste each one. Column A, date. Column B, amount. Column C, payee. Column D, memo, reason. The spreadsheet grows row by row. It's an archaeological dig through my own financial sacrifices. 3 separate credit card minimums every single month. I had to consolidate them for her 2 years ago just to keep her afloat. The personal loan, the one that was supposed to be just for 6 months, Sky, I swear, until this commission comes through. That was in 2022. The car insurance for the luxury Riviera SUV she absolutely needed for client meetings that never seemed to materialize. I add a sum formula at the bottom of column B. The total appears, stark and accusing in black and white, 52,800. The number sits there accusing me, not of generosity, but of sheer unbelievable gullibility. Nearly $900 every month. More than my own car payment, my utilities, and my grocery budget combined, funneled silently to maintain Miranda's carefully constructed facade. I save the document. M. Cole Ledger, Final Dex LSXX. I save it to my local drive. I save it to my personal OneDrive. I save it to my private Google Drive. I encrypt the file and email a copy to my secure private email address. Evidence secured. I allow myself another sip of coffee. It tastes better than usual. My phone, which has been quiet all morning, suddenly vibrates on the desk. 9:02 a.m. Miranda. Hey, did you change your bank info? Payment failed. I look at the message. I don't touch the phone. 2 minutes later. 9:04 a.m. Miranda. Sky, call me. Something's wrong with the Amex payment. I take another sip of coffee. 9:15 a.m. Miranda. The Visa one failed too. What did you do? 9:30 a.m. Miranda. The credit card company just called me. The payment was declined. Fix this. 9:32 a.m. Miranda. Sierra, I'm not kidding. My auto pay for the car is tomorrow. 9:33 a.m. Miranda. Call me back. 9:45 a.m. Miranda. Insufficient funds? What's happening? Did you lose your job? The messages escalate from confusion to panic, and then swiftly to pure, unfiltered rage. The punctuation multiplies with her desperation. 10:15 a.m. Miranda. You did this on purpose. You're trying to ruin me. In 10:17 a.m. Miranda. Answer your damn phone. I get up and silence my phone, placing it screen down on the counter, but the notifications keep appearing on my laptop screen. 15 missed calls, over 30 messages in less than 24 hours. I methodically begin my weekend chores. I will not be tethered to this manufactured crisis. By mid-afternoon, the inevitable happens. My mother's name appears on the screen. I let it ring 3 times, then answer. Hi, Mom. Sierra, what is going on? Her voice isn't kind. It's clipped, furious. Miranda is hysterical. She says you're refusing to help her with something. Help her with what? I ask, walking to my fridge and pulling out a bottle of water. Don't play coy, Sierra. The payments. You know she relies on you. The disappointment in her voice is so familiar. It's the same tone she used when I was 10, selfishly keeping my birthday money instead of sharing it with Miranda. I've been paying her bills for 5 years, Mom, I say. My voice sounds different, even to me. It's steady. It's cold. She told everyone at Thanksgiving that I begged her for money. So I stopped. A sharp intake of breath on the other end. That's not what she meant. You know how Miranda gets when she's nervous? She exaggerates. You're taking it too seriously. It wasn't an exaggeration, Mom. It was a lie. A public lie. And every single person at that table, including you, believed her. You're being dramatic. Family helps family. I helped, I state, unscrewing the cap on the water. For 5 years, that's $5,800 of my money. A long, heavy pause. I hear rustling as the phone changes hands. Sierra, it's Dad. His voice sounds older, tired. What's this about money? Your sister says you've cut her off without any warning. Did she tell you why she needs my money every single month? She's been having some cash flow problems with her business. You know that. It's temporary. Dad, I say, and I almost feel sorry for him. She doesn't have a business. She hasn't had steady work in 3 years. Another long silence. This one is heavier. You've changed, he finally says, and the words are meant to be an accusation. You used to be kind. The words strike deeper than I expected, but the clarity I found in that powder room rises to meet the pain. I haven't changed, Dad, I reply. I just stopped letting people use my kindness as their personal safety net. The shocked silence that follows tells me they have never, ever considered our family dynamic from this angle. We'll talk about this later, he says, a weak retreat. Okay, Dad. I hang up. I've barely set the phone down when it rings again. This time, it's my cousin. Loretta? Hey. Hey, Sierra, just checking in. You left Thanksgiving so suddenly. Everyone was worried. It was a difficult evening, I offer carefully. I'll say. Miranda's been messaging everyone about sudden money problems. Something about you backing out of a loan? That didn't sound like you. A bitter laugh escapes me before I can catch it. I didn't back out of a loan, Loretta. I stopped making her monthly payments after 5 years of paying all her bills. Wait, you've been paying her bills? But she has that huge house in Briarwood, and that car, all paid for by me, I say. At least the minimums were. The ones keeping the wolves from the door. How much are we talking about? Loretta asks, her voice dropping to a whisper. $52,800. Holy. Sierra, that's... She pauses, and I can hear her connecting the dots. No wonder you always turn down the family trips. No wonder you never eat out. A lump forms in my throat. All those years, all the excuses about work commitments, saving for a house, needing to be on call for an audit. The truth was simpler and more painful. I couldn't afford both Miranda's lifestyle and my own existence. I have to go, Loretta, I say, my voice thick. Right, of course. Hey, for what it's worth. Good for you. After she hangs up, my phone pings with a text from another cousin, Mitchell. Mitchell. About time someone stood up to the golden child. The truth is spreading. It's reframing 5 years of family gatherings, where Miranda arrived in designer clothes while I wore the same black dress, where she brought expensive wines while I baked from scratch because it was cheaper. I closed the spreadsheet and shut my laptop. The documentation is complete. The payments are canceled. The truth is loose. The next morning, the real campaign begins. My mother calls, and this time, she's not disappointed. She's weeping. Sierra Marie, how could you? She sobs into the phone. Your sister is a wreck. She's locked herself in her room. Elias is beside himself. Good morning to you too, Mom. I'm at my desk, logged into work, and I refuse to let her theatrics derail me. This isn't a joke. She has responsibilities, bills. That beautiful Riviera, they're going to take it. What will the neighbors think? I imagine the neighbors will think she can't afford her car. You are being so cold, so callous. This isn't the daughter I raised. The daughter you raised has been paying Miranda's bills for 60 consecutive months, I say, my voice flat as I click through audit reports. The daughter you raised has been living in a tiny apartment so her sister can live in Briarwood. She was going to pay you back. You know she was. You just had to be patient. Mom, did she ever tell you she was borrowing money from me? A slight telling pause. She mentioned you were helping with her new venture as an investor. An investor? I almost laugh. Mom, I was paying her Amex bill. That's not an investment. That's an allowance. And for the record, she never paid me back a single cent. She did, however, lie to the entire family and say, I was begging her for money. She was nervous. She misspoke. You're holding on to that one little comment to justify, this This cruelty. You're tearing this family apart over a few dollars. A few dollars, I say. Mom, it's $50,800. The sobs stop. Instantly. I hear a sharp, whistling intake of breath. What? She whispers. $52,800. Would you like me to email you the spreadsheet? I have it itemized by date and payee. That can't be right, she stammers. Miranda. She would never, she's so successful. She's not, Mom, that's the point. The success is a costume and I've been paying for it. And I'm done. You, she sputters. All the righteous anger gone, replaced by pure, sputtering shock. Your father, he needs to hear this. I'm at work, Mom. I have to go. I hang up. I know I've just dropped a bomb, but I feel no satisfaction, just a hollow, echoing relief. My phone lights up. A notification from the family group chat. I brace myself and open it. It's a message from Miranda. Miranda. Hey everyone, just wanted to ask you to please keep Sierra in your prayers during this difficult time. Mental health struggles can manifest in many ways, including financial jealousy and sudden, irrational behavior. We are all just heartbroken and hoping she gets the help she needs. I stare at the ceiling, counting the popcorn ridges to keep from hurling my phone across the room. Within seconds, the responses flood in from clueless aunts and cousins. Aunt Penelope. Oh no, Miranda, what happened? Is she okay? Cousin. Sending so much love, Sierra. We're here for you. Aunt. Should we organize a care package? Nobody asks what prompted this. Nobody questions its validity. My sister's word is gospel, and in the space of 30 seconds, I have been recast as the unstable, jealous, irrational family member having a public breakdown. My phone rings. Mom. I silence it. It rings again. Dad. I silence it. Then a Facebook notification. Miranda has tagged me in a post. I open the app. It's a tastefully filtered photo of her, staring pensively out a window, a cup of tea in her hands. The caption, so heartbroken when family members struggle with jealousy and let it twist them into someone unrecognizable. Praying for healing and peace during this difficult time. Family is everything. 27 sympathetic comments already. Unbelievable, I whisper. She's not just lying, she's spinning. She's controlling the narrative, painting herself as the loving, wounded sister in me as the lunatic. I get up from my desk. I feel a frantic energy, a need to do something. I pace my small living room. She's brilliant. I have to give her that. She knows the family defaults. She knows they will always rally to protect the golden child and manage the difficult one. I'm the difficult one now. I close the app. I will not respond. I will not engage. My spreadsheet is the truth. The numbers are the truth. I finish getting ready for work. Focus. Just focus on what's real. I work better than I have in months. Client documentation flows through my review process with uncanny efficiency. Spreadsheets that normally require double checking seem crystal clear. You seem more focused lately, Sierra, my manager comments during our afternoon check-in. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. What I'm doing is keeping an extra $880 a month in my bank account. I'm returning from a late lunch, coffee in hand, when I spot her, standing right in the middle of my office building's marble lobby. Miranda. She's in full costume. Designer sunglasses perched on her head, artfully disheveled hair, and an outfit that screams distressed casual, which I know cost a fortune. She's been crying. Her eyes are red, but her mascara is, of course, perfect. She spots me through the glass doors. The second I step inside, she launches her attack. How could you? She shrieks, her voice echoing in the cavernous space. Heads turn. My coworkers, heading back from their own lunches, slow their pace. The security guard tenses. How could you just abandon me like this? Tears stream down her cheeks. After everything I've done for you. My stomach turns to ice. She's doing this here, on purpose. I keep my voice measured and low, walking directly to her. "This is not the place to discuss this, Miranda. This is my office." "Your office? I don't care. You're trying to ruin my life." "I'm trying to save my own," I say, still quiet. "Financial problems?" She laughs, a high, brittle sound. "You're the one who's always needed my help. Always. And now, when I need you, just temporarily, just for a little while, you cut me off completely? You just throw me away?" A security guard starts to move toward us. "Ma'am, is there a problem here?" "My sister is stealing from me," Miranda yells at him. That's it. My calm shatters. "I am not stealing from you," I say, my voice still low but now vibrating with anger. "I am done paying for you." I look her dead in the eye. "We have nothing to discuss until you are ready to talk about a repayment plan." "A what?" she whispers, the word hanging between us like a grenade. "A repayment plan for the $52,800 you owe me." The tears vanish, instantly, as if a faucet was turned off. The transformation is terrifying. The wounded victim disappears, replaced by a cold, calculating fury. Her eyes narrow. "This isn't over," she hisses, her voice suddenly steady and venomous. She turns sharply, her stiletto heels clicking angrily on the marble, and shoves her way out through the revolving doors. I stand there shaking as the entire lobby pretends not to stare. I watch her go, feeling oddly victorious. She miscalculated. She thought a public scene would make me fold. She doesn't know who I am anymore. Saturday brings an unexpected reprieve. Loretta arrives at my apartment door with 2 large bags from my favorite deli and a sympathetic smile. "You okay?" she asks, unpacking sandwiches and soup containers on my small dining table. "I brought reinforcements." "I'm surviving," I say, pulling plates from my cabinet. "Everyone's talking," she says, not meeting my eye, "about what happened at your office and the Facebook post." "What version are they discussing?" I ask, my voice weary. Loretta shakes her head. "The real story is starting to get out. Mitchell called me after he talked to your dad. He told me what you told your parents." She pauses, sandwich halfway to her mouth. "Is it true, Sierra? Does Miranda really owe you over $50,000? $50,800. I confirm, the number clinical and sterile. That's just what I sent her. Her total debt. What I can piece together, is closer to $96,000. Loretta drops the sandwich. 96? How? How is that possible? They live in that beautiful house in Briarwood. "Mortgage to the absolute limit," I reply, plus 3 maxed out credit cards, 2 personal loans, and the Riviera lease that's 3 months behind. I've been covering the minimums for years just to keep the collectors from calling her. "She was using you," Loretta says, her voice turning hard with an anger that's on my behalf. "This whole time, using you while acting like she was the successful one, while you wore the same dress to Christmas 3 years in a row." My phone buzzes. It's a notification. The younger cousins have created a new group chat. The name, Team Sierra. Miranda and my parents are not included. I'm still absorbing this development when my phone rings. An unfamiliar number. I almost decline, but Loretta glances at the screen. "That's Elias's cell," she says, her eyes widening. "Miranda's husband." My blood runs cold. I accept the call and put it on speaker. "Hello? Sierra." Elias's voice is strained, rough. We need to talk." "I'm listening, Elias," I say, meeting Loretta's astonished gaze. "I had no idea," he begins, and his voice breaks. "I swear to you, I had no idea about any of this. She hid everything." "All of it?" I ask. "All of it. The payments from you, the debt. She told me the money from you was... She said it was a gift from your parents for her consulting startup." The raw, unfiltered honesty in his voice catches me completely off guard. "Thank you," he continues, "for helping her, for helping us and quietly all these years. I feel like such a fool. I thought we were stable. I thought her business was taking off, but we've been living beyond our means just to keep up appearances with the neighbors. We're not as financially secure as everyone believes. We're not even close. A strange weightlessness settles over me. For 5 years, I was the only one who saw the real Miranda. Now, someone else is standing behind the curtain with me. I'm sorry, Elias, I say finally. I hope you can help her find better ways to cope. Loretta squeezes my hand across the table as the call ends. For the first time in years, I'm not alone in this. And for the first time in my life, I'm not the one who's expected to fix everything. The knock at my apartment door comes at 11:42 p.m. It's not a polite knock. It's 3 thunderous, desperate blows that rattle the door in its frame. I know who it is before I even look through the peephole. Miranda. She stands in the harsh, flickering hallway light, arms wrapped around herself. Her hair hangs limp and greasy around her face. There is not a trace of makeup. She's wearing faded jeans and a plain, pilled cotton t-shirt, clothes I've never, ever seen on her before. I open the door but block the entrance with my body. It's nearly midnight, Miranda. Please, she whispers, her voice cracking. It's a raw, broken sound. Please, Sky, I'm falling apart. Elias knows everything. For a fleeting second, I see the little girl who used to crawl into my bed during thunderstorms, the one who sought comfort from her practical older sister, who was never afraid of the noise. But then I remembered the Thanksgiving table, her voice dripping with poison and false concern. You should stop begging for money. It's embarrassing. I remember the lobby of my office. My sister is stealing from me. Still, I step aside. Come in. She rushes past me, not walking to the couch, but pacing my small living room like a caged, frantic animal. The credit card companies keep calling, she says, her voice high and thin. I've blocked 8 different numbers, but they just use new ones. They just keep calling. And the Riviera, her voice catches in a genuine sob. They're repossessing it. They're taking the car next week. Elias won't stop them. I walk to my kitchen and fill a plain glass tumbler with tap water. I offer it to her. She eyes it, clearly hoping for wine, and accepts it, but doesn't drink. Mom and Dad are heartbroken, she continues, the pacing getting faster. You're tearing the family apart with this vendetta. This isn't a vendetta, Miranda. This is a boundary. A boundary? She scoffs, the tears already drying. If I lose everything, it's on you. Is that what you want? Huh? To see me fail? To see me on the street? Will that finally make you happy? I sit on my couch, watching her. I wait. I let her monologue run out of steam. I let the dramatic pauses designed to prompt my reassurances grow long and uncomfortable. When she finally falls silent, panting in the middle of my rug, I speak. I helped you for 5 years, Miranda. She sniffs, nodding eagerly, sensing an opening. And I'm so grateful, Sky, I really am. That's why I don't understand why you'd stop now, right when I need you the most. I let a calculated pause stretch between us. That's $52,800, I say evenly. I have records of every single payment. Her face shifts. The vulnerable pleading vanishes, replaced by defensive anger in an instant. It wasn't that much. You're exaggerating to make me look bad. You always do this. I'm not exaggerating, I say. I reach for my laptop on the coffee table between us. I open it. I don't say a word. The screen illuminates her face with its cold blue light. I open the file, mcol ledger final.xlsxuck. I turn the laptop toward her. Each row is a payment. Each column is a category. Dates, amounts, payee accounts. Notes I'd taken after her frantic calls. 1 of 2021, 310 Riviera Auto. M called commission late. G1 2021, 210 MX Miranda. M said just to cover interest. 11/5/2025, Wentioned. Allstate Insurance, auto payment. 5 years of financial hemorrhaging, meticulously, clinically documented in the only language I know how to speak, the language of numbers, numbers that don't lie. This is... Miranda stumbles over her words. She squints at the screen. You kept a list? What kind of person does that? An auditor, I say. You're doing this to make yourself look better. You always need to be the perfect one, the responsible one. No. I'm doing this because I knew one day you would stand in my living room and tell me it never happened. She stares at the glowing screen, her chest heaving. She's trapped. The numbers are a cage, and she's rattling the bars, searching for an escape. She finds one. She switches tactics. You know I have expenses, she says, her voice rising, finding its footing in indignation. You don't. The country club fees alone. The mortgage on the Briarwood house. She stops, realizing how that sounds. She tries a different angle. You make so much more than me, Sierra, she snaps. You don't understand what it's like to really struggle. I make $185,000 a year, I say quietly. Her eyes widen, just slightly. She'd clearly assumed much, much less. I make $185,000 a year, I repeat, and I live in this 600-square-foot, one-bedroom apartment. I drive a 7-year-old Honda. I haven't taken a real vacation in 3 years. I stand up. Why do you think that is, Miranda? Where do you think my money has been going? The silence that follows is the first truly honest moment we have shared in our adult lives. Her mouth opens and closes. She's searching for another angle, another manipulation. She finds the oldest one in the book. But we're sisters, she finally says, her voice small, a final desperate plea. Family helps family. I walk to the door. I open it. The harsh hallway light floods in again. You had 5 years of help, Miranda. You had $52,800 of help. That's enough. She gathers her purse, her shoulders stiff with pure, undiluted indignation. She's no longer the victim. She's the one who has been wronged. At the threshold, she turns, her eyes narrowed to slits. You're heartless. You're cold, just like your numbers. She hisses the next words. You will regret this. No, I say, meeting her gaze steadily. I won't. But you should regret confusing someone's compassion with a lifelong obligation. The door closes between us with a soft, final click. 2 hours later, my mother calls. It's almost 2 a.m. Sierra, she says. Her voice is tight, strained. She's trying to maintain her composure. Your sister is here. She's beside herself. She says you refused to help. After she came to you. Did she tell you what she wanted, Mom? She's going through so much right now. That car, Elias. Did she tell you how much I've already helped her? I ask, cutting her off. She mentioned some small loans you'd given her, that you were holding over her head. $52,800 over 5 years is not a small loan, Mom. Her sharp intake of breath tells me more than words ever could. My father's voice suddenly replaces hers, rough with sleep. 52,000? That can't be right, Sierra. That's a down payment on a house. I know, I say. My finger is already hovering over the mouse. I have an email prepared. It's been sitting in my drafts folder for 2 days. To Dad, Mom, BCC, Loretta, cousin, Mitchell, cousin. Subject, financial history, M. Cole. I'm emailing you the documentation right now, I say. I click send. You can review it for yourself. But why? Dad stammers. Why would you keep giving her money all this time if she wasn't being honest? Because, I say, and my voice cracks, just once. Because she's family, and you taught me that family helps family, no matter what. The stunned silence on the other end is both vindication and heartbreak. I hang up. A few minutes later, my phone buzzes. An email. It's from my father to his brother. He must have hit reply all by mistake. Wallace, take a look at this. Am I reading this right? This is fraud. My breath catches. He sent it to Uncle Wallace. The next day, I wake up feeling a grim sense of purpose. The evidence is out. The numbers are speaking for me. I make coffee, sit at my desk, and log into my laptop. I'll review the file one more time, just to be sure I have every date correct before the inevitable family inquisition. I open my local drive. I double-click mcol ledger final.xlsxoc. A pop-up appears. Excel cannot open the file because the file format or file extension is not valid. My blood runs cold. A spike of pure adrenaline hits me. No. I try again. Same error. The file is corrupted. It's fine, I mutter, my heart hammering. It's fine. I have cloud backups. I log into my OneDrive. I navigate to the finance folder. It's empty. What? No. The entire folder is gone. Not just the file. The folder. My hands are shaking. I open my Google Drive. I go to the secure folder where I'd saved the encrypted copy. Empty. I open my secure email account. I find the email I sent to myself. I click the attachment. mcol ledger final.xlsx zip. 1 kb. File is corrupted and cannot be opened. She did this when she was in my apartment, that night. She must have seen me type my password. Or she guessed it. My old dog's name? My birthday? Something stupid. Something a sister would know. She came to my apartment not just to plead, but as a contingency plan. If pleading failed, she'd destroy the evidence. I've lost it. I've lost everything, all my proof, all my meticulous documentation, gone. It's my word against hers again, and I've never won that fight. I stare at my blank screen, the panic rising in my throat, hot and acidic. She's going to win. After all this, she's still going to win. I'm pacing my apartment, my mind racing, trying to figure out how to rebuild the file from bank statements, a process that would take days. My phone rings. It's an unknown number, but the area code is my parents'. I answer it, expecting another tirade from an aunt, Sierra. The voice is deep, gruff, and I don't recognize it at first. Who is this? It's your Uncle Wallace. Don't interrupt. I stop pacing. Uncle Wallace? I saw that file your father sent me last night, before it disappeared. My heart stops. You have it? Can you send it to me? No, he barks. File's gone. Tried to open it this morning, it's corrupted. Same as your father's. Your sister is sloppy, but she's thorough. My stomach drops. Oh, but I saw it last night, he continues, his voice like gravel. I saw the numbers. $52,800. Disgraceful. It's not a family spat. It's theft. It's fraud. I'm stunned. This is the man who, at Thanksgiving, dismissed me as the accountant. I don't know what to say, Uncle. Don't say anything. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it because our name is on the line. This is a matter of financial honor, and your sister doesn't have any. I hear him shuffling papers. I made a call. Spoke with that husband of hers, Elias. You called Elias? Told him to stop whining and pull his wife's full credit report, all 3 bureaus. Told him if he really wanted to see the truth, to stop listening to her and start looking at the numbers. He's a fool, but he's not stupid. He's pulling them today. He's not my ally. Not really. He's not motivated by affection. He's motivated by a rigid, old-school code that Miranda has violated. She didn't just lie to you, Sierra, Wallace grunts. She lied to him. And she lied to our grandmother, claiming she had a trust fund. That was a mistake. He hangs up. I stand in the middle of my living room, my panic replaced by a strange, cold resolve. I don't have my spreadsheet, but it doesn't matter. I don't need it. Uncle Wallace just armed Elias with a weapon far more powerful. The official, undeniable truth. A week passes, a week of agonizing silence. The Team Sierra group chat has been quiet. My parents haven't called. Miranda's social media has gone dark. The silence is more terrifying than the barrage of calls. I'm walking home from work, my keys in my hand, when my phone buzzes. A text message. It's from Elias. It's a group text. The recipients, me, Mom, Dad, Uncle Wallace, Aunt Penelope, grandmother. Family meeting, our house, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Just the people on this text. This needs to end. My stomach tightens into a cold, hard knot. I type back one word, confirming. I have no idea what I'm walking into. I have no proof. I have only my word and the volatile, unknown variable of my sister's husband. I don't sleep. The next day, I arrive at their house at 1:58 p.m. It's not the grand Briarwood estate everyone imagined. It's a smaller, nice but over-leveraged Tudor style in a less impressive neighborhood. Elias opens the door before I can knock. His normally easygoing, handsome face is gone, replaced by something harder, older, and infinitely more determined. His eyes are shadowed. He looks like he hasn't slept in a week. "Thank you for coming," he says, his voice low and flat. "This won't be easy." I step inside. The living room feels like a courtroom. My mother and father are sitting stiffly on matching armchairs, looking pale and sick. Uncle Wallace and Aunt Penelope occupy one end of the sofa. My grandmother sits in a chair by the fireplace, her hands folded on her cane. Her presence signals the absolute gravity of the situation. They all look at me as I enter, not with sympathy, not with anger, just with a heavy, grim expectation. I choose the corner of the sofa as far from the blast zone as possible. The air is thick with unspoken accusations. "This is all so unnecessary," Mom attempts, her voice trembling. "Family disagreements, they should stay private." "Not this one, Mom," Elias says, his voice firm. He's standing by the coffee table. On it rests a thick 2-inch manila folder. "Not anymore," he says. The sound of a door closing echoes from the hallway. Miranda enters. She's unrecognizable. Her face is stripped of all makeup, pale and blotchy. She's wearing plain black leggings and a beige sweater I've never seen before. No designer labels, no statement jewelry. Her eyes are red-rimmed and dry. She looks broken. "Sit down, Miranda," Elias says, not even looking at her. She perches on the edge of the empty armchair, the one clearly positioned as the focal point, the hot seat. She folds her hands so tightly in her lap, her knuckles are white. Elias stands before us, shoulders squared, a man I've never seen before. "I've asked you all here because it's time everyone understood exactly what's been happening. The truth, not Miranda's version, not Sierra's, the numbers." He opens the folder. "Over the past 5 years," he begins, his voice resonating in the dead quiet room, "Miranda has accumulated personal, unsecured debt totaling $96,500. My mother gasps, a hand flying to her mouth. My father's head snaps up, his face ashen. "That includes," Elias continues, his voice like iron, "the $52,800 that Sierra has been paying in secret for 5 years. He looks at me, a quick, hard glance of acknowledgement. The money that Miranda told me was a trust fund from grandmother. Grandmother's sharp intake of breath cuts through the room. "I never," she says, her voice shaking with rage, "set up any such thing." "I know that now," Elias says. He starts pulling papers from the folder. He throws them on the coffee table, credit card statements. "This is the Nordstrom card, maxed out, $15,000. This is the Saks card, maxed out, $12,000. This is the Neiman Marcus card, maxed out, $10,000. He keeps going. Store cards, personal loans, designer clothes, jewelry, handbags, things to maintain the appearance of success, while we were, in fact, quietly drowning, while I was working 60-hour weeks. My father leans forward, his hands trembling as he picks up a statement. His disbelief is palpable. This doesn't sound like the daughter we raised. "I needed those things," Miranda whispers, her first words. Her voice is a thin, reedy sound. Everyone expected me to be successful. You expected it." My mother reaches a hand toward her. "Sweetheart, is this all true?" The question hangs in the air. The first time in 30 years I have ever heard my mother question Miranda's version of events. That one question is the final pin. Miranda's careful, fragile composure shatters. It's not the dramatic, performative tears from my office lobby. It's a full-body collapse. A raw, ugly, howling sob breaks out of her. "I just wanted everyone to be proud of me," she wails, folding in on herself. "I just wanted to be what you wanted." "By lying?" Aunt Penelope's voice cuts like a blade. "By stealing from your sister?" "I was going to pay her back," Miranda protests weakly, tears and snot streaming down her face. "I was, as soon as the business took off." "When?" Elias asks, his voice merciless. "With what money? You haven't held a steady job in 3 years. There was no business, Miranda. There was never any business, just an Instagram account." The silence that follows is a physical weight, pressing down on all of us. I watch my family, my entire family, absorb the reality they have all, in their own ways, been denying for years. The golden child is a fraud. The practical one was the bank. Elias straightens up. He closes the now empty folder. He is the judge. This is his courtroom. "Things," he announces, "will change, starting today." Miranda looks up, her eyes wide with fear. "We are selling the Riviera this afternoon. I'm driving it to the CarMax dealership as soon as this meeting is over." "No," Miranda gasps. "Not my car." "Yes," Elias says. "The trip to Monaco for New Year's is canceled. We've lost the deposit. That's fine." He looks at his wife. "And you start working. On Monday. My friend Belinda is hiring for a 40-hour-a-week retail position at her boutique. You will take it. Your entire paycheck, every 2 weeks, will be split. Half to the credit cards, half to Sierra, until the $52,800 is paid. Retail?" Mom's face pales. But it's so extreme, it's beneath her." "It's necessary," Elias replies, his voice flat, "and it's long overdue, and we will begin financial counseling on Thursday, together. He has taken full control. He has laid down the law. There is no appeal." I sit in the corner, silent. For the first time in my memory, I am in the middle of a family crisis, and I am not expected to fix it. I am not the savior. I am not the villain. I am simply present. The liberation of that one thought catches in my throat. My father, who has been silent this whole time, just staring at the statements, finally looks up. He doesn't look at his wife. He doesn't look at Miranda. He turns to me. His eyes are clouded with something I have never ever seen him show me. Genuine, profound regret. We should have seen it," he says, his voice dropping to a near whisper. "We let this happen. He looks down and then back up at me. "I'm sorry, Sierra." The 2 words I have waited 30 years to hear. They land softly without the fireworks or triumph I'd always imagined. They're just quiet and sad. I nod once, just once, accepting, but not absolving. It's over. The next 6 months unfold in careful, measured steps. The family gossip shifts, then settles. The full, unvarnished story emerges, and the family fractures and then reforms, but the pieces are in different places. Miranda works retail. She comes home with aching feet and humbled eyes. Elias oversees their finances with spreadsheets that, I'm told, echo my own meticulous records. When my mother calls now, her voice carries a new, strange hesitancy, a deference. She's learning to navigate unfamiliar terrain where I am not the utility and Miranda is not the centerpiece. My father calls me to ask about my own investment strategies, and he listens with genuine interest. One Thursday morning in May, my phone pings with a banking notification. Zelle deposit $600 from Miranda Cole. A text message follows 1 minute later, from Miranda. "It'll take years, but I'll pay you back. All of it." I stare at the screen. I remember the Thanksgiving table where she publicly accused me of begging, the powder room where I cut the cord, the spreadsheet that documented 5 years of my silent sacrifice. My fingers hover over the keyboard. A dozen responses form and dissolve in my mind. It's a start. Don't mess this up. About time. In the end, I type just 2 words. Received. Thank you. It's not forgiveness. Not yet. It might never be. But it's a door, left slightly open in a wall I had every right to build. A year later, the weight of a pumpkin-scented candle steadies my hands. I'm at the threshold of Miranda and Elias's new, downsized Tudor-style home. Through the glass panels, I glimpse modest Thanksgiving decorations. It's a far cry from the opulent displays at our parents' home last year. My own life has transformed. My apartment now boasts a plush sectional couch in rich burgundy, replacing the threadbare hand-me-down I'd tolerated for years. My home office gleams with a proper ergonomic chair and the solid oak desk I'd wanted for so long. The $880 monthly payment that once disappeared into my sister's bottomless needs now flows into an investment account showing 12% growth. Dad opens the door before I can knock. "There she is," he says. His voice lacks the booming, false quality I remember. Instead, there's something I've never heard before. Respect. "Happy Thanksgiving, Dad." "Happy Thanksgiving, Sierra." I step inside. The aroma of roasting turkey is the same, but the atmosphere is completely different. "Oh, you're right on time," Mom says, kissing my cheek. It's a real kiss. Miranda's just about to serve. The dining room table is set simply with white plates and cloth napkins. There are only 8 place settings instead of last year's 24. No crystal chandelier hangs overhead. We are not an audience. We are a family. Miranda emerges from the kitchen. She's wearing jeans and a simple cream-colored sweater. No designer labels, no statement jewelry. Her hair is pulled back in a simple ponytail. She carries a platter of sliced turkey, and her hands are steady. "Everything looks wonderful, Miranda," I say, and I mean it. She looks up, and her smile is small, and it contains something I've never seen. Humility. "Thanks for coming, Sky." We sit. The conversation flows. It's not a performance. Uncle Wallace discusses his recent heart surgery fears. Loretta shares her promotion without downplaying it. My parents admit their financial anxieties about retirement without pretending everything is perfect. No one performs. No one competes. We just exist together in the new, uncomfortable, quiet truth. When everyone is seated, Elias picks up his water glass. A toast. All eyes turn to him, but he just nods to Miranda. She rises slowly, her hands shaking, just a little. She lifts her own glass. Her eyes meet mine across the small table. "To," she says, her voice thick, "to family. And to telling the truth, even when it hurts." My throat tightens, unexpectedly. I raise my glass. I don't smile, but I acknowledge her. A quiet nod of acceptance, not of the past, of this new, honest beginning. Later that night, back in my own apartment, I open my laptop. The $600 payments have arrived consistently every 2 weeks for 6 months. I open my old journal. I find the entry from that night, $50,800. I pause, considering what has changed. The monthly deposits from Miranda aren't just financial restitution. They are an acknowledgement, an admission. They are proof that my boundaries matter, that my sacrifice deserves recognition. My worth was never tied to their approval, though it took me 30 years to understand it. Boundaries aren't cruelty. They are self-respect. I close the journal. I feel neither triumph nor regret. Just a hard-won crystal clarity. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is know when to stop. You can't save someone who is determined to sink, especially when they're the one holding your head underwater. If this story resonated with you, leave a like and consider subscribing. You can also drop any comment below, even just one word. Maybe tell me where you're watching from or what time it is right now. Sometimes one word is enough to say you are here.